Hello friends, it's Scott from Flat River Keto. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On my channel, you get to come along for the ride on my keto journey. I'm actually checking in with you guys 2 weeks in a row. Woohoo! First time in a long time. So if you're new to my channel, you wouldn't know that, but for those of you who have been following along, I hadn't checked in with you guys in quite a while, and shared a video with you last week, kind of let you know what's going on with me, and wanted to follow up and start to try to get back into the habit of sharing my updates with you every week. So that's what we're doing. I'm actually recording this and sharing this with you on Easter Sunday, so happy Easter. I am spending the holiday with my daughter and my wife. Usually I get to spend it with some extended family. I actually got to see my brothers this morning for breakfast, but they were headed out of town this morning, so we got to see them briefly. But my parents are actually in Omaha for quite a while. My dad's dealing with some health issues, and so they've had to stay close to a hospital that's there. And so normally spend most holidays with them, as my parents live in town here where I live most of the year. They do have a place in Omaha, but most of the year they live out here. So it's kind of different for us to just have the three of us for Easter, but we're having a fun day and an enjoyable time. Our church has their general conference today, which is the opportunity to hear messages about the gospel from the leaders of our church. So we get to enjoy that. And we're enjoying Easter. But it's kind of a relaxed and a chill day. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. But it's been a good week for me. I would not say it's been a perfect week. I am toward the end of tax season. I have about 10 days to go, and I will admit I have a lot of stress. I am definitely struggling to get back to eating keto. Having said that, as I mentioned to you guys last week, I am utilizing a GLP-1 as part of one of the tools in my tool bag, as I said last week. And I'm definitely not overeating because of that. I wish I could say that I've gotten back to eating a keto diet. I haven't. I will say that there are many reasons for that. My wife has been really stressed. When she's really stressed, it's a lot harder for her to come home and make meals. I certainly am capable of cooking, but I haven't been doing that either, especially not with tax season. And so we've been picking up food and haven't been doing a good job of getting back onto keto. And what I will share with you guys this week, and kind of what I wanted to share, is that the GLP-1 thing has been very interesting. I know I mentioned a little bit about it last week to you guys, but it's been very eye-opening to me, because I feel like, and I don't know, obviously I have nobody's experience but my own, but I feel like for the first time in my life, my hunger cues are probably more similar to what a lot of you out there deal with. Maybe not as many of you as are on this channel. If you're on, following along on my health journey, you might have some of the same types of struggles that I have with that carb monster and that sugar monster, and dealing with that. So maybe there are more of you who are like me than aren't. But for the majority of people out there, from what I understand, you eat and then you become full and you don't want to eat anymore. And for most of my life, it hasn't really been that way or felt that way. As I've told you guys many times, I feel like I could eat a whole carton of ice cream. I could eat a whole cake, a whole pizza. Like, I will eat what a normal person would eat, and then I just continue to go, even though I'm full. My body doesn't seem to catch up with that. Now that I'm on this medication, my body does seem to catch up with that, and it was actually really interesting. I will share it with you guys this morning. Not a super keto meal, not a lot of keto options. Went out for breakfast out at my brother's house. They had Belgian waffles, had sausage, and had some fruit. I had some fruit and sausage, and I did partake of a Belgian waffle, but I had half of a Belgian waffle. And I will tell you guys that I was done. I was full. And I think that's really the GLP-1 doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is kind of quieting my hunger cues. But it was a huge difference for me, because I know that in the past, the Belgian waffles were very good. My sister-in-law makes delicious Belgian waffles and some homemade syrup and all kinds of things. Sorry if those are triggering for those of my friends out there who are being a little more keto than I have been lately. But it was really good. But in the past, I would have had not just one waffle. First of all, I split one with somebody, but then I would have had, 1, 2, 3, 4 waffles, as many as I get my hands on, and then maybe come back home and eat some more. So I can tell that the medication is working and doing what it's physically supposed to be doing. Now, the other side of that for me is that there's a lot of mental, what's the word I'm even looking for? It's hard for me to think of what it is, but like a lot of muscle memory, I think, is what I said to you guys last week. And I would say mental muscle memory of what I know I'm used to eating and how much my body has eaten in the past. And even though I don't feel that physically, there's still an emotional, mental connection to wanting to eat more. And so while I've definitely eaten less this week than in past weeks, and certainly for these couple of weeks that I've been on this new medication, I could be doing a lot better, because I'm still getting to the point of feeling a little overfull a lot of the time, and it's because I'm not used to listening to my hunger cues, and I'm not used to stopping when I'm full. And so that's something that I'm really going to be focusing on here over the next little while. And I will tell you guys, I absolutely am planning on utilizing a keto lifestyle in addition to this GLP-1. I'm not just going to do a GLP-1 and then do whatever, eat however, because I know that's not going to be long-term successful for me, because I don't want to be on this medication for the rest of my life. I want to get in touch with my hunger cues, and I want to be able to get off of this medication. I talked about it with my doctor, and I'm going to try it for a year, and I'd like to then get off of it. And the way that I'll be able to get off of it and continue to live the rest of my life, I believe, is by utilizing a keto lifestyle and eating a keto diet, or a keto or low carb diet. When I get down into my goal weight range, I think it's going to be probably more low carb than keto, but that's really what I want to do. And I know that is how I will be successful for the rest of my life. I also know that this is something I'm probably going to struggle with for the rest of my life. And the reality of that is at times very disheartening, but it's something that I need to say out loud, that food is going to be something I'm going to struggle with to some degree. It's never going to be easy. I almost, that's probably a better way to say it than I'm going to struggle. I don't know that I'll always struggle, but it's never going to be easy. It's never going to be what it is for a lot of you out there, which is you see something and you go, oh, that looks tasty, and you have it or have a few bites of it or whatever, and then you put it away and go move on to other things. A lot of my life has been obsessing over food. There's definitely a mental component to that and an emotional component to that, and I'm working through that. It's a slow process, trying to find ways to help myself when I'm feeling down or feeling stressed or feeling angry, other than turning to food, because I know that that's not good for me. But in the short term, as I'm utilizing this medication, it's kind of doing that for me. I want to use it as a springboard to get back into the keto lifestyle, to get comfortable with that, because I know that for me, long term, for the rest of my life, I don't want to be on a GLP-1 medication, and I do want to be able to eat. And I know we have to eat, right? I want to be able to eat in a way that doesn't make me obsess over food. And I know that keto, when I work it, works for me. And so that's my plan. And that's kind of my update for this week. Sorry, it's not more interesting than that. But I am planning on getting back to eating more keto. I will tell you guys I was very not keto this week. I would say there were very few meals that were even keto-ish this week. I've got, like I said, one more full week of tax season and then a half a week, and I will be done. Be honest with you, I'm going to try to do a little better this week than I did last week, but I don't think I'm going to set too many parameters on myself other than to try to be a little bit better than I was this last week. This is a very stressful week for me, getting through the last few of the clients that we're trying to get through before tax season is over. From a movement perspective, things have been going pretty well. I'm getting walks in every day. Those of you who follow along in my short videos, you can check those out and see the walks that I'm doing. I've been doing some walks out at my parents' place. They have 11 acres, and I've just kind of been walking around the edge of that, allowing my dogs to run free and get their 10 miles in when I get my 1 to 2 miles in. But my goal is to continue to up my exercise slowly so that my body can acclimate to getting back to doing some movement again. Anyway, hope you guys have had a fantastic week. Again, happy Easter. Hope you've had a great Easter Sunday, an opportunity to recharge and refresh, spend time with family and friends. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your comments and just being along the ride for the ride on my journey. Day by day, keep calm and keto on, my friends, and we'll check in with you again next week.